Hello everybody, it's Howard from Avtransfers. Welcome to my YouTube channel this morning, Sunday morning. We're outside on the grass patio, and we're just going to do a little unboxing here. We've got something I bought on eBay. Oh dear, the eBay fairy does visit very often, and perhaps too often. But sometimes, you know, you just got to do what you got to do when you're in the Avtransfers business. So let me get my knife and we'll take a look, see what just arrived. This is something that I wasn't really looking for it. I wasn't really looking to buy this. I never even heard of it before I just came across the auction. And to be honest, I probably don't need it because I'm sure I've got others that do the same thing just fine. But it's a piece of video history, and it's on for a buy it now. And the thing about buy it now is you can make an offer, and I made a stupid offer, and he accepted it. Well, not stupid. I mean, it's still reasonable, but it was a bit lower than perhaps the market would have paid. Oh, love this. Oh, this is the good stuff, right? Oh, only the best, eh? So yeah, it's a bit tight in my office sometimes. I thought, well, let me just put this outside. Oh, don't you just love it? You say pack with packaging around it, and they pack it and then they stick it in the bottom of the box. Around it means, you know, in the middle. Anyway, when I'm unsure if the seller is going to package it well, I tell them to use Royal Mail, because Royal Mail I find are the most careful with things. Ooh. Yeah, it's a bit crusty. Ooh, it's very crusty. Okay, I'm glad I'm opening this outside. This may well end up in a situation where it just stays in its packaging for ad infinitum. But let's have a look, see what have we got here. Okay, so we've got here an unusual find for the UK. Let me just get closer in on that, because this thing, you know, whenever I see something that's marked color and it's spelled C-O-L-O-R, excuse me, I get excited, because that normally means it's not European, it's American. And this was living here in England, so I thought, ooh. And the chap who was selling it said, oh, it's an office ornament, office desk ornament for some time. And I suspect it may stay a desk ornament. But when things are in these cases, they generally, oh, it looks like it's been in someone's garage, actually. Oh dear. Is that a bug? Yeah, I'm glad I'm opening this outside. This may have been a huge waste of cash, but anyway. Oh god, these zips are tighter than I imagined. Oh gosh, okay, we've got one off. Let's try to get the other side off. Oh gosh, come, give me the... Oh, there we go. There's another one of these on eBay for a ridiculous amount of money. Anyway, the nice thing about a case like this is it takes the hit for the machine. And often the machine inside is in better shape. But we shall see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So let's take that out. Let's put that in the box for now. Oopsie, sorry kitty. And have a look at what we got. Ooh, oh, it's a handle. It's portable. If it has a handle, it must be portable. Let's take a look at this. Don't know if you can see that alright. I'm just trying to get the angle. Color portable videotape recorder. 12 volt. Made in Japan, Tokyo, Japan. Ah, good times. Ooh, good heavens. Look at that. Yeah, very dusty and crusty, but not beyond repair. At this point, anyway. Let's just do that and that. Okay. RF antenna. Let's have a look at the front of this. Let's open it up a bit there, check it out. Okay, so what we got here? Ooh. Color, dub, black and white, record, sorry, stop, rewind, stop, play, forward. Well, the action seems pretty good. Okay, that's a good start. Now, PV4600E, you'd think the E would mean PAL. Could it be PAL? I don't know, I'm not convinced. It says color, like that. Okay, one of the, oh, such a shame, it's got so much plastic in it. Alright, so what we've got here is a very early videotape recorder, probably 70s, I'd imagine. Yeah, 70s, definitely not 80s, and definitely not 60s either. So, it takes, there's a take-up reel, there's the recording reel. These are for keeping the reels in place if you hold the machine upright over your shoulder while you're recording. And let's just have a look here. Yeah, the numbers are turning there, so at least that belt's working. Let's just have a look. It doesn't look like it's been molested too much. So it's got an unusual layout because the reels, the reels are offset to help with the azimuth. I think I just want the tape to go past at a certain angle. Very interesting. The roller doesn't look too bad. This feels like it has a bit of... The belts might be alright in this still. It probably needs a good clean and we'll have to look into that. But right now we're just looking at the basic machine. There's a very interesting piece of glue on here, which I don't know what the hell that would be about. Maybe, oh, it's just a locking. There's a locking. Let me take the top off here. Oh, that won't come off now. Okay. Obviously this was dropped at some point. But there's a locking group of glue here. I don't think it's material though, because the tape obviously passes underneath it. I can see the heads. I don't know if that head's any good. These heads would generally... The drum is very, very rough as well. But these heads, there's one head there. I can see it quite easily without any magnification. Let's just see if I can get this a bit closer for you so you can have a look and see. Can you see the head? I'm going to point to it. Okay, obviously, there we are. Can you see that? Can you see that head? It's, I can see coil. I can't really see head. I'm not too sure about that. Let's check the other side. Yeah, the other side looks much the same. Okay, so let me just zoom out a bit. Oops, other way. And let's just take another look at this over here. I might get my screwdriver and just take a look underneath that cover salon. So let me grab that. So these early heads, they didn't really have the same sort of sophistication and rotary transformers that later machines had. Rotary transformers basically meant there didn't need to be a physical connection between the head spinning and the machine, because the transformer obviously created the current, amplified the current, which then was received over a very small gap by the machine. Whereas these ones, these ones used sort of a contacts system, and there are normally some brushes in here, although this actually looks quite sophisticated. But I really wanted to just see if the head would spin, doing it the gentle way. There's one. I've got a microscope, I can check these out. They might be okay actually. I'm looking at this. The head looks quite wide, but the actual head in the middle is actually quite narrow. I wonder if this is replaced. But if you have a look down in there, you can kind of see what's going on. Let's see, pick up terminal. Okay, so this is quite sophisticated. It's got some sort of amplification actually on here. That's unusual. I haven't seen that before. Normally the amplification is done in the machine and there's just terminals here, contacts, whereas this one seems to have some actual amplification for each head. Maybe the switching point and the head A and head B, I don't know, something like that. That's very interesting. The head does seem to spin freely. Very interesting. So there might be some life in this still. Just zoom out a bit again. Oops, zoom out. There we go. So yeah. So these would have been it's kind of a crude system here. So for this video machine to produce video, it needs to rotate at a constant speed. So the machine needs to know how fast the head is spinning. And it has to spin precisely, obviously, otherwise you get a warbly picture or any number of other problems. So it needs like a feedback system. And in the early days, they would use effectively cassette heads, tape deck heads. And this to me looks just like it. There's two audio heads here. And they would just be picking up the magnet, which is here, telling it where it is in space. Okay, the head is there, and then it's telling it boom, 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 and that's giving it its feedback back. Right. So it all looks pretty good. There's no corrosion in there. What's nice about this is you could probably use it to clean around the drum and get the head out the way. So the head is spinning freely, which is a very good sign. And I don't see any major corrosion there. I see a bit of crap, excuse my French, from what would be bugs, because obviously that isn't a sealed item. And of course corrosion may have played a part in this, gotten in there, but it does look like a machine that may have some life in it. Now I've got two other USA format reel-to-reels like this. One is Panasonic, I think, and that was actually, I got that from Richard Deal, in the guy who does labguys world, many years ago. He actually helped me set up because I had some tapes to do from the States, and I got that from him. And I also got a portable machine from him, a Panasonic portable machine. So the one is color and the one is black and white, but most people recorded in black and white because I think it was just what a lot of schools and places like that use. I need to use a slightly better screwdriver. This one is terrible. I don't have high hopes for this working, but you know, it could be a fun little thing to try and establish. I guess why I bought it was I thought it might be a pill machine, and then I bought it and the guy agreed to sell it to me at a certain price. And then I looked at the word color, and then I googled a bit more on it, and I discovered that it actually is, looks to me like it's NTSC, which makes sense because, you know, the only PAL color machines I've seen were from Sony or Philips, I think, and that was quite late in the day. I don't think they were out that long. So here you've got your erase head, your sound head, and on the sound it has one side is sound and the other side is control track. So there's quite a lot of spider webs in this. That stops me from wanting to put it in the office straight away. I think I'll need to inspect the machine, take it apart and clean it out before it gets an inside tour, because this is really what sold me. I just love that artwork. Is it showing backwards? Oh, it's showing backwards on my camera, but that's fine. It looks in pretty good nick though. Color portable videotape recorder. And the plastics seem alright. They don't seem too bad. Not amazing and not terrible. But you know, sometimes you buy something and you kind of want to... you don't want to open it inside. You sort of think it might have a few nasties in it. And this, you know, I mean, this roller is dirty, but it will probably be okay for testing. So yeah, it all looks good. Let's just see if I push play, what happens. Nothing. Oh, this is also behaving nicely. So the tape tension and stuff it actually looks in pretty good nick. Sometimes, you know, spiders cannot really do too much harm to a machine. Okay, you also got slow motion here. And okay, use high density JVC tape, 12 pH. Alright, so yeah, the tape will basically feed from here over this doohickey, yeah, but around that, then under that one, around here, under that one, then across here, under here, and then onto this reel. The problem with a lot of these machines is the head life was very short. You know, some of these had a head life of 500 hours. The Akai 1/4 inch machines are the worst for that. And I've bought so many of those machines and they've all been bad, either because of the head or because of the amplifier inside the machine. So that's a particularly difficult one to get working, but this might be alright. I'm just going to get a cleaning wipe. Let's give it a quick clean, shall we? So I've got some interesting wipes here. First of all, these are nice alcohol wipes, but don't ever use them on a video head. I learned the hard way, because there's something else in here other than alcohol, and it basically ripped the head off a 1-inch video machine and cost me a lot of money to fix the head. So you know, experience sometimes is a good teacher, but boy, I could have done without that. It's fine for stationary heads. I mean, it's not perfect, but at least it's good at the first pass, just to see how bad. They don't actually look too bad. I tend to use it for reel-to-reel machines, things I'm not too worried about, but you know, not for using on high-end stuff. It also doesn't seem to muck up anything too much. So this is actually, I think, for medical use. And I thought, oh, if it's for medical use, it's probably quite gentle. But actually, I ended up paying quite the price for it, because the head cost me like $3,000 to get a new head. More than the job I did with it was worth. And you know, one can end up really kicking yourself in the kishkas if you make a mistake like that. So yeah, most problems can be fixed with throwing enough money at them, but you know, I prefer not to have had that experience. Obviously, I'll probably try and take this off and give it a better clean, but I'm encouraged that the controls and things seem to all be moving freely. There doesn't seem to be any resistance to that, and even if it ends up just as a display piece, it's quite a nice looking display piece, just for fun, right? But yeah, I'm sure there are all sorts of nasties in here. It doesn't look like it's been in the best storage environment. But what is that for? That's just, obviously this would have originally had a handle and a camera, but that wasn't available, so I just bought this. What's also interesting is that the seller unfortunately said he did not have a suitable power supply. There was no power supply for it, so that was kind of annoying, because obviously I'm going to have to come up with a power supply. Obviously it's 12 volts, I get that. Oh, at least the back has come off. Oops, the back has come off quite successfully. Oh, okay, someone's been in here, but it might be alright. Let me just clean the back of this. Now I'm going to switch to a different cleaning thing. I'm not a big fan of spraying things in the air, so I like stuff that's already impregnated with the cleaner I want. So this one is what we called in South Africa Mr. Min. It's called Mr. Sheen in England. It's the same rubbish. It's just like a cleaner. It's quite nice though. Quite. You can see what's going on here. I'm sure there are a few cockroaches in here too. Actually, not necessarily. There was not really much heat in these things, unless it was stored in an old kitchen, which it hasn't been. Just gives it a bit of a freshening up. It gives it a bit more hope of, you know, if it works nice, if it looks nice, it might work nice. That's the philosophy. I can't tell you how many bugs I've come across in these things over the years, and I don't mean FM bugs or radio bugs. I mean insect bugs. Okay, so we've got a bit of this stuff here. It's actually, I must say, it's a very tidy unit. You know, it doesn't look at all bad. I'm not too interested in the recording on this. I guess you would push record down first, and then you would push play, and then it would be in record mode. What I do find on these sometimes is there's a record switch inside, and sometimes what happens is it gets a bit dirty and scratchy inside, and that needs to be cleaned. So that's, when you push stop, it goes out. Looking like it's behaving. The action on this is pretty good. So yeah, I'm just not sure about the bugs. What the hell is that? But I think it's pretty good because it's had a cover. It's had a cover here, right? And it's also had oh yeah, it's kind of falling apart a little bit, but not too bad. It's had a cover here, and it's also had a case around it. So two things have kind of been keeping it nice inside. So yeah, let's just see here. Let's put these on the ground. I don't want to have them on my couch. You're probably wondering, why has he got a couch in his garden? Why not? On a few days a year we can actually sit outside and enjoy a bit of nice weather. Why not have a couch outside? It's cleaning up quite nicely there. It's looking quite nice. Not the worst example I've seen of a Videocorder. Look at that, it's cleaning up really nicely. Look at that. And I'm sure there are better ways to clean these things. These little hinges are intact, so it's just this hinge at the back has come off. Where does this even go? I don't think it belongs to this side. I think it actually belongs to the main body of the machine. Alright, let's just see here. Oh, I see. What's actually happened is one of these is missing. Or it fell out, I didn't see it fall out. One or two. But it actually does look like someone has opened this at some point. Which is a shame. Look at that. Yeah, oh dear. I think that a bit of super glue won't fix. I'm not too precious about that. I'm not too precious about it. I don't think that's particularly important. At this point, let's give it a clean. Nothing a bit of glue won't sort out. There's a switch here. I meant to show you the switches on the side. There's auto and color lock. Oh, that's quite stiff. It's a bit cheesy and crusty in there, but it still works. Seems like it's a good connection. Color lock. I don't know what that's all about. Then there's a power in. I'm going to have to work out what that is. Maybe it's the same as the Akai, which I've got, because I've got Akai cables, which might work. Camera socket. Looks like a standard camera socket. TV or camera. I guess you would have been able to record from a TV's tuner if you had the right TV. And tracking control. So pretty high tech. And it's got an off there as well. So I guess in off position it would just be auto tracking or standard tracking maybe. But really a neat little package. I mean, this is not much bigger than a shoebox, and it's very elegant and very light. If you think about the well, okay, it's not that light, but you know, it's pretty all metal chassis in there as well. What's they say in America? Chassis, yeah. So yeah, that's the first look at that. I'm just going to see if I can put this back on here for now. I'm quite pleased with that. I've not checked the electronics. I've only checked the cosmetics at this point, and what I can outwardly see is mechanical. Look at this. Isn't this just an interesting angle? Look at how this tape is angled in so that the tape comes down and then comes off again at that other angle. It's a really funny layout, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen one quite as angled as this. It's almost like they angle the tape instead of angling the head. The head looks like it's square on, but some machines, you see, they've got they headed it at an angle. So I don't actually know if this is its own standard or if it was the standard, was it EIAJ standard? Probably the standard EIAJ standard. Anyway, so that's going in there. Let's take that out. I'll pop that in there. So I'll just stick that in there for now. I'm sure there was another piece. Maybe it's just fallen somewhere I didn't see. But see what it is. Ouch! Yowzers! Looks like it's gone on. Definitely not brand new, that's for sure. But anyway, let me just clean out in here while I'm here. This is where I think things like spiders and whatnot might want to mosey on down. Now, I'm sure this thing is full of open capacitors and God knows what else. This is quite interesting. This is very interesting. Very interesting. It may actually have an alternative power input here, because look, it's got if you look in there, it's got what looks like a standard DC jack, probably center negative, because the older stuff generally was all center negative. But that's very interesting indeed. At some point something must have leaked in here, but not too bad, not too bad. So at some point we'll open this up and look further at it. But yeah, I'm sure there are pretty better examples of this one around, but for now this is a pretty neat example. Let's just have a quick look under here at the what would have been the RF unit. Ooh, okay, that's not great. This foam is disintegrating. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about pardon me, I'm more worried about it just causing problems with other things. But if you wanted to hook this to a normal TV, you would have just put a RF unit in here, and then you would have been able to take RF out from this. I'm not really going to go in this area. It's not really going to be an issue. I'll just put that back for now. Let's just find the screw. The screw. Was that part of that? It must have been. So yeah, I think exciting machine. If it's PAL, I will be very impressed. But I think it's NTSC unit. So yeah, just a quick show and tell, a quickie look at a very early color portable VCR, probably just before VHS, I guess, came out. And a really nice compact unit. I mean, when you think about what it would have been 10 years earlier. Oh, I see. Okay, so if you had the RF modulator, that's where you would have plugged in your output, because that's where it sits, just over there. So yeah, it's just, let me just get in there and give that a clean. I just don't really like things full of bugs and chojos, as we say. I don't like things like that. I like things to be clean and minty. I have high standards for things being clean. Generally, if people bring me stuff, it must be clean as well to do. It's like, I can't believe saying it's been lying in your attic for 50 years and not dusted off. It's kind of that you pay extra for if it's filthy. Alright, so there we go. A quick look at the rather cool looking JVC VCR. Missing a clip, unless I'll look in the box, maybe I missed it. But that's all for now, I guess. Just trying to see how this, I would like to get the other clip for the back. Anyway, a unique piece for sure, for sure. It does seem to clip mostly in the front, so yeah, that's a good start. So we'll enjoy that, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.